Hey everyone, my name is Amanda and I'm the Fun Size Reader, and today is the July of 2022 Fun Size Book Club discussion for Stealing Infinity by Alyson Noel. Hopefully you guys read this along with me this month. I did think I was going to read it a lot faster than I did, so I was talking about in my last video, like postponing the talk, but it didn't happen. Life got in the way. So here we are. Plus it was slightly a large book. Like, it was large. Synopsis: this book is about a girl named Natasha, and she has a father who passed away and a mother they're kind of on the down and outs, and she's not doing well in school, and she's kind of a little bit of a thief. She essentially gets tricked and framed for stealing a bunch of stuff by her best friend in school, or one of her best friends, and gets whisked off to the Grey Wolf Academy, where she finds out that time travel is possible. Star rating. I struggled with this star rating because of reasons I'll talk about, but I gave this book 3 stars. I liked it. By the time that I finished it, I was curious with how things were going, what was gonna happen. I have predictions, I have feelings, but overall, for the whole book, the book as a whole, I liked it. I do think that I could be pushed to really liking the second book because of the way that things were set up. And I'll go into that a little bit more like in our discussion. This book had no spice in it, but was mildly steamy. There were a couple scenes that were like heavy makeout scenes, so it was a little steamy, but nothing that was explicit in any way. So it does fit with the YA audience. There are some trigger warnings though, and Alyson does have a note in the beginning of the book that you can go see the trigger warnings at the end, just to make sure that anybody who's reading it is not uncomfortable in any way. So I would advise checking those out before you read the book. So, my 3 stars. Why? I feel like I was expecting something different from this book than was actually written in this book. I feel like this book was very much a setup book, and at times was very slow. Based on the way that the description was written, kind of the anticipation, the like synopsis, plot, storyline, whatever, I was expecting this to be very fast paced. I've seen a lot of people compare it to like the Da Vinci Code, or like, I don't know. I was having trouble saying it's like this and this combined. I couldn't make anything fit. I was feeling a little bit like it could be like the Inheritance Games in the beginning, but then the more it went on, I felt like the Inheritance Games was way more action-packed and thrilling and exciting than this book was. There was a good deal of repetition in the book. I felt like the same kind of day was happening over and over again, and it did get a little boring at times. So I think that that's why I kind of stuck with the 3, because I liked it in the end. Like the last maybe third of the book got exciting, and I got like into prediction mode and what's gonna happen. But I think the thing that threw me for a loop was that the prologue of the book was obviously about her father and him getting murdered or stuck back in time. Because of that prologue, I thought that there was going to be a lot more excitement about what Natasha had learned in the past, about what she could do, but I felt like it was very long and drawn out. Like, it wasn't exciting. There wasn't as much of that like hard-hitting puzzle solving or things like that than I thought there was gonna be. I think the prologue was to set up the whole series instead of setting up the book that we were reading. So I was a little distracted by that, expecting it to be in a way very much connected to what happened in the prologue. I thought that that's what the story was going to get at. And I feel like it will eventually, but it didn't in this book. So it was a little jarring. Character-wise, I liked Natasha as a main character, but I wasn't in love with her. For example, if you read the Inheritance Games, you love Avery. Like, you just love Avery. But I didn't love Natasha. I don't know why. There was something that just didn't like push me over the edge for her. I don't trust pretty much anyone. And I think that that was the goal. So I think that that was done really well. Like, you were not meant to trust anybody in Grey Wolf Academy. I don't trust Elodie. I don't really trust Song, even though, you know, we know what happened at the end with Song disappearing. But I just like, I didn't really trust her. I don't really trust any of the boys. Jago, Oliver, Killy, none of them. I don't really trust any of them. But you know who I don't trust the most? Braxton. I don't trust Braxton. And I know he's the love interest right now, but I did not feel that. I did not feel the romance because I didn't trust him. And I felt like things moved so quickly with him. And I was like, no, sir, no. I don't like you. So I wasn't feeling the romance part of the book because I just was like, If you didn't, I have this section marked as spoilers, but because this is like book club discussion, right? So obviously these are going to be some spoilers. I think that Braxton was the one that killed her dad or like made him stay back in time. I think that he was the boy in the beginning in the prologue. And I think that's part of the reason why I really don't trust him. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. I haven't talked to anybody else who's read the book yet. So let me know, like, do you trust Braxton? Do you think that he was the boy in the beginning? Because every time they talked about his eyes, I was like, the eyes were mentioned. It's the eyes. The eyes gave him away. It's him. That was him. So now he's trying to mac all over Natasha like he didn't murder her father. And he's trying to say, like, I did bad things and I'm trying to be good now. No. So, that being said, I like Killian. I know there's about to be a love triangle. Do I care? Not really. Kind of. But not really. I like Killian. I want to know why he was left behind. I want to know what happens with Killian. He's obviously a good guy because he saved Natasha back in time. But I'm Team Killian. If you're Team Braxton, tell me why, because I think he's a bad guy. And I'm Team Killian right now. And you know what? If he ends up being the villain and I fell for another villain in a book, so be it. It happens often. I really didn't like Elodie. I know we're not supposed to like her. And so I think that was well accomplished. But I really didn't like her. And so I think that just goes along with not trusting anybody in the story. I think the like puzzle solving and things were not super clear. I didn't like how she just was getting snippets of remembering random facts and not knowing why and having a flashback without her dad. I just felt like that building of her talent, her skills, what her timekeeper or whatever was passed down to her abilities are, it's just still too unknown. I feel like I wanted to have more of that in this book, more explained, more knowing what the heck was going on. Having some questions, fine. Being tricked about some things, fine. But I just wanted to know more. I feel like I'm just still unclear about what's happening. I am looking forward to the second book because I think obviously the love triangle with Killian and Braxton is going to be great. I do think bringing Mason back is going to be interesting. I'm not sure why that happened, but it's going to be interesting. I think the flash of her seeing Braxton in like her unraveling and her view of time in the past is going to lead to a disagreement between the two and is possibly going to lead to like what happened, right? I also just want there to be more about what they're actually doing. I want more of that. I want more of the explanation. So I am curious. I'm curious as to what's going on. I'm curious as to what's happening. She needs to stop with Braxton and just, head on over to Killing. I'd be fine with that. Thanks for joining me for Fun Size Book Club for July, reading Stealing Infinity. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys want to read the second book. I don't know when it's coming out. I think it's like in the next 6 months or so. I'm not sure. I have to look, but fairly soon. So I'll put the link for the second book down in the description below. And let me know what your thoughts were. If you're watching this on the live discussion, obviously we've been talking. If you are not, leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of the book. Hopefully I didn't spoil things for you guys. But thanks again for coming and chatting with me and reading with me this month. And I can't wait for you to see what I picked for August of 2022. Stay tuned for the next video so you can find that out. And don't forget, you can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at The Fun Size Reader. See you guys next time.